Movement reveals who we are. As we move, so we are. When we get stuck in old patterns, we literally are no longer able to move forward. If we can free the body of old movement patterns and bring in new patterns, the body begins to heal itself.
My name is Chang. I am a dancer, a choreographer, an energy healer, an author, and most recently, a movement analyst. In the past 2 years, I've begun a journey to integrate all these different parts of my life. I'm using movement with my healing clients and students. I am bringing the energy healing world to my dance community. I call the new modality I am teaching healing movement.
I started dancing seriously very late in life, when I was 37 years old. I took my first modern dance class here at McGuffey in Studio 20 with Ann Megabo in 2001. I went on to study with Ann and with McGuffey associate member Kat McGuire at PBCC. Ann and Kat not only taught me to dance, but they taught me something else even more important, that I could make dance. I began choreographing for concerts at PBCC in 2002. Since then, I have choreographed and or performed in 22 concerts at or associated with PBCC. In 2010, I won the PBCC Dance Department's Academic Award. Choreographing dance changed my life. For the first time ever, I realized I was a creative person. I created a soundtrack for one dance using different sounds and snatches of music. I used poetry read live on stage for another dance. I created PVC's first interactive video dance with Dan Pierce, a local sculptor. One of the dances of which I am most proud was called Tales of the City. It brought together a wide variety of people from the community. There were people who had been dancing all their lives. There were people for whom this was their first performance. The youngest dancer was 9 years old. The oldest dancers were 66. When I go into the studio, I have some ideas, but I also enjoy collaborating with the dancers. For example, in Tales of the City, each dancer had a character, a story, from which they each had to make a solo. It's not always that formal, but I do ask for and expect participation by the dancers. For me, the process is more meaningful if we can all work together. At the same time I was learning about dance, I was developing a practice in energy healing. I graduated from the Brennan School of Healing, the premier energy healing and self-transformation school in the country, in 2001, just before I started studying dance. While I was performing and choreographing, I was making my living as an energy healer, giving individual sessions and teaching classes and workshops in energy healing. These two tracks of my life were completely separate, but I always knew that they would eventually come together. When Kat McGuire introduced me to the work of movement pioneer Rudolf Laban, I knew somehow this integration would happen through Laban movement studies. In 2010, I began the 2-year certification program in Laban movement studies at the University of Maryland. I graduated last year, and now I'm a certified movement analyst. That means I have a set of skills and a vocabulary for looking at movement, breaking it into its parts, and putting it back together again in a way that has meaning. I am bringing together those skills and my expertise as an energy healer in healing movement. Healing movement is premised on the idea that our body holds the key to all our patterns. If we can integrate the body, we can also bring together the different parts of the psyche, the different ways in which we splinter. If we move in new ways, we can free ourselves from places where we are stuck. We can literally move to a new place.